Hello and welcome. The last video that I did was speaking about vulnerability and how to embrace that vulnerability inside and allow it to be transformative. This is a teaching that kind of complements that teaching. And it is that there are 3 phases to every relationship. Now, yeah, we're talking intimacy. Intimacy is the most in-your-face shit that you could ever imagine when it comes to these things. But it's also a relationship with our family, our relationship with... I'll go into some pretty specific examples, actually. But there are 3 phases. The first is the honeymoon phase. And in that phase, you feel like that person, whoever that person is, whatever that situation is, doesn't even have to be a person. That situation is the perfect thing. So it happens when we go traveling. Let's use this as an example as we go. When you first start traveling, you're in love with everything that you see. It's also different, it's also new, and it's all there to support you and this cool adventure that you're having. Then the second phase to any relationship is where you start to see through your own expectation and desire and are able to see the situation a bit more truthfully. Now, what I was told is that most people divorce right there. Like, that's where people divorce, end relationships. That's where a person loses their excitement for travel, like in that example we were talking about. But then there's a third stage that is very rarely talked about, and that's where things get fucking real. And that's where you are able to be so straightforward and so truthful because you're not worried about that expectation we were talking about from the first one. You start to become very, very real with each other. You start to become very, very real with the situation. One example of that as well is a teacher-student relationship. Let's even take like a spiritual teacher-student relationship to be very direct, although this happens in all of them. You look to that teacher and you think about the guru syndrome. This person is perfect. They are going to give enlightenment to me. But the thing is actually these gurus are all human beings as well. And that second phase where you start to see through whatever pedestal or whatever sort of trance or enchantment we have, and you start to see the real self, which is these human beings, and we're all giving it our fucking best shot. That's when you start to become real, and you can learn more from people in that state of realness, in my opinion, than you can in the other stages. You start to learn directly the truth. It's not a fuck around. So anyways, yeah, with students and teachers, with romantic partners, with friends, with work situations, with travel, with life situations in general, this is always something to watch for. And as we mature as people and as we continue to do our awareness work as best we can, hopefully we can move quicker and quicker through those stages, because the honeymoon's beautiful. There are parts of the honeymoon phase that you can't give up. It's where fresh energy comes from. It's inspiration. And then the second phase is beautiful too, because as much as you might realize that person isn't everything you thought they were, you might realize that there are a lot of things about that person that are so beautiful still, and maybe they do fulfill those exact, in fact they do, they fulfill those exact needs that you have, but that's not all they are. And then that third stage obviously speaks for itself, but all of these things have their time and space. It's not about trying to shortcut straight to that third part. That's a human thing. We like to get to the end. But ultimately, if we're aware of that process, then there's something that can be very special about that. I just wanted to share. Thanks for watching.